Hello and welcome everyone to another one of my courageous conversations. And if you don't know me, I'm Andrea Morrison. I'm a transformational coach. And these conversations are in celebration of my brand new program, the Courageous Females program, which starts on this intake on the 8th of June. So I thought I would introduce you all to some really courageous women, well, who I consider to be really courageous, and who I've shared this understanding with, and for them to share with you the impact that it's had on their lives and their businesses. So today I'm really excited because I'm joined by Dr. Indra Barathon, and I've known Indra for 4 years. Yeah, it's 4 years, and it's just been wonderful to see her journey and see how this understanding has impacted how she's created her now amazing business, which I will let her tell you about. And so without further ado, welcome, Indra, and thank you for joining me today.
Oh, thank you so much, Andrea. Thank you for calling me a courageous woman. That's not something I would have used for myself. So thank you very much for letting me explain my journey. And actually, my journey has been so fascinating to sit back and reflect on, really. When I first met you, which must be about 4 years ago, I was literally just about to start my practice. And I had a gut feeling that I needed to go to this networking meeting. And that's when I saw you and I met you, and I just thought, okay, we need to connect now and find out what's going on here and about. And I'm not sure that you were necessarily with the understanding so much at that point either.
No, I just come to the understanding and had started to really look in that direction. Yeah.
And so I sort of thought, right, okay, I'm going to start some coaching with Andrea, and it's kind of gone from there. And I think for me, the biggest thing that the understanding has done for me is to allow me to trust that gut feeling. And that gut feeling, I know now, is my innate knowledge or wisdom or whatever you want to call it. And that voice has just become so much stronger. It was always there, because that's why I went to that meeting in the first place. And I always knew that when something is so easy, I kind of have to flow with it. So even from when I was working as a GP, I remember thinking, this makes so much sense. And that's how I came into functional medicine. And in functional medicine is kind of a root cause medicine where we're trying to understand why people feel unwell. And one of the core principles in functional medicine is that our bodies have an innate capacity to heal. So if that's right for our body, then we must have an innate, whatever that innate wisdom is within us for everything else. So it just made so much sense when I came into this understanding and have done all the work and reading about it. It just makes so much sense, because we do know, and even my patients know, when they come and see me, I've started to ask them, what do you think is going on? 9 times out of 10, they've got it right.
Yeah,
and it's just my medical information kind of makes it a little bit more technical, and it kind of says, well, yeah, this is what you've got to do. But they have that innate wisdom, and for me, that has been the biggest driver in how I run myself, my life, my business, my connections, the whole thing.
Yeah, wow. So when you follow that, what kind of impact has it had on the normal kind of ups and downs in business? That kind of when we don't know what we're supposed to be doing, or what we're faced as entrepreneurs all the time. How has it helped you?
Well, I think I remember right at the beginning, I would wake up and I think, oh my God, this is so tough. What am I going to do? I should know what I need to do. So, and I would just get myself into a real twist about something. And I have at times emailed you and gone, I think I need some coaching. I can't figure this problem out, or whatever it is. Yeah. But now, as I've gone on to learn the understanding deeper, I've realized that I get quite curious, and I'm quite interested into, well, why am I doing all of this thinking? Why am I getting myself flustered. This is quite interesting. What's changed from this moment to the next moment? And often I can then, if I just stay quiet, I understand, oh, I've not had such a good sleep, or maybe I need to go out for a walk. Maybe I just have been in front of my screen for 4 hours a day, or whatever it is. I can sit back and go, oh, and often just stepping away and being quiet and just doing something different, the answer comes.
Isn't that really interesting? It's like almost like a bubbling up to the surface. That's how it kind of feels like to me, you know, that it just kind of bubbles up when you give it that space.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
presents itself. And often it just feels like common sense, like, oh yeah, you know, I didn't sleep well last night, as you say, or I haven't had any lunch yet. Or
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, okay, that's an easy fix.
So it just means that I'm excited every day. There used to be a lot of worry about, am I doing the right thing? Am I saying the right thing? What are people going to think of me? And all of these common things that I think a lot of us feel when we're stepping out into something that is so out of my training. I was in the NHS for 15, 16 years. And now to run my own business, and what does that mean? And how do I become a CEO? You know, all of these kind of questions were going on in my head. And it meant that there was a lot of, I kind of felt like I was holding back. I knew what to do, but those thinking was just overwhelming sometimes. Now, I kind of get curious and go, oh, okay, interesting. But I'm still going to do this because it feels right to do it.
Yeah. Isn't that great? It's like really quite liberating, isn't it? You know, because I hear so many people say, oh, I know what to do, but, and then they listen to whatever comes after the but, which is usually lots and lots of historical stories and things that they've been carrying for years, and, you know, what their teacher told them when they were 9 and all of that. And just to be completely free of that, you know, not have to feel like you have to stop it or change it or fix it. Just go, okay, well, I can do that thinking, but actually I know what to do. So I'm going to do that anyway.
Yeah, and actually realizing that sometimes things which we think may not have gone correct, if that actually has so many benefits that we wouldn't have probably known about if we hadn't even done it in the first place.
Yeah.
And I kind of don't see things as good and bad anymore. I just see things as, okay, that's a scenario. I can decide how I'm going to learn from it.
Yeah.
And then I can move on. So fear is so less. I'm not saying that I don't have it. We all do, and it's part of being human, but I have a curiosity of my fear now.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's so impactful, isn't it? I mean, because I hear a lot of entrepreneurs say how worried they are about the future, or they're fearful. They're fearful of getting it wrong, making the wrong decision. You know, it's maybe spending or investing in something, but what if it doesn't turn out the way that you think it needs to turn out? And sometimes we can focus so much on what we think something should look like that we then miss out on everything else that was on offer with taking that step.
Absolutely.
Or all of the things that we could have learned from it.
Absolutely. And I think when you were saying that, it kind of made me think about when I'm setting up things like my webinar. I had so much thinking about it, and there was still all these conversations, but I knew then there was that knowing that, yeah, it's going to happen, and I don't have to push it anymore. When the right information comes to me, I will do it. And so today I just sat down, wrote a blog, set everything up, going to have a conversation with my team, done.
Yeah.
So it's so
and isn't that just so easy? You know,
Yeah.
It's like it takes the pressure off, doesn't it? I think so often we feel that we have to have everything worked out in our kind of intellect, like every single scenario, every single computation of everything that could possibly happen. And we get ourselves tangled up in so many knots. But actually, when you start to recognize this kind of deeper innate intelligence that we have, that actually is there all the time and will provide you with an opportunity of, well, you'll just know, and you will then just do it, and the blog will come and the webinar will come and you will know what to do and you'll put it together and it'll be fine.
Exactly. And if nobody turns up, that's okay. We've learned something. That's it.
Yeah, I'm sure people will. I'm sure people will. But it's that kind of letting go of the whole outcome, isn't it? Of well, this is what I just feel like I need to do right now.
Yeah, definitely. And I think one of the learnings that has happened to me recently is knowing and letting go and realizing that this moment is perfect for me. And when this moment is perfect for you, there is no past, there's no future. It's just this moment. And that's been really profound for me. I really come back to that. And that's a voice that keeps coming back to me regularly over these last couple of weeks. And it just makes me feel really calm.
That's incredible. That's really powerful, isn't it? You know, so often we live our lives thinking there was an alternative path, you know, or if I hadn't done that 10 years ago, then I wouldn't be, you know, in this position, or this would have happened, or I would have been somewhere different or better or anything. But actually, in any moment when we're just sat really quietly with a really clear mind, it's just a perfect moment, as you say.
Yeah.
And we can find that calm and that peace of mind.
Yeah. And that's when you get the new creativity. And one of the things is that I've learned as well, there is limitless possibilities in every moment. And there's no way that we can know any of it. We cannot know the endless possibilities in each moment. So sit back and just see what comes through is just so exciting, I think. Anyway, I've become really excited.
Yeah. And are there any examples, I'm going to put you on the spot now, that you could share that have been like, wow, I didn't know I could do that, you know? Or
I think a lot of the examples that I've realized is that when I'm sitting with my patients now, I really am aware of being present with them. So I'm not worrying about the next one. I'm not worrying about the the blood test results and this, that, and the other, which is what my daily life was. Being present with my patient now, some of the stuff that I tell them to do, I was like, where's that come from? Or advising them to do, comes from somewhere else. And before I used to plan and prepare, and which is great, which is understanding what I'm kind of coming to deal with each patient. But being with them at that moment, sometimes something comes out which is correct for them at this moment. So that has been the most way that I've noticed the endless possibilities, because I have the information, but some of the information that comes out, I'm like, oh yeah, I wouldn't have put that together. Oh, okay, good.
yeah, that's incredible, isn't it? That's incredible. I know that I've had situations like that when I've remembered something like maybe something in a book or in a video that I've watched I've not seen for like years, and I just think, where on earth has that come from? Like, I've not even thought about that.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not actually been in that kind of functioning part of my brain. It's because I've been so present with my client, and so in that moment, it is that moment of connection. You are able to access everything, you know, and all that wonderful, fresh, new creative thought as well. I mean, that's just incredible, isn't it?
It's lovely, because I think patients then really realize that you've connected and you really get them.
Yeah.
And what you say to them, you can just see their little, oh, and you know that whether it has settled or not, something has hit them. And And especially with dealing with the chronic illnesses that we're dealing with, people have been ill for so long, and to have somebody actually fully understand what they need at this moment I think, can be quite profound for them as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think on a human level, you know, we crave that deeper connection, don't we? I think because we know how kind of healing that can be for both parties. And I think that's something that we've missed a lot in our society, is that time that we spent in that deep listening and that deep connection. You know, so that we can have those like richer conversations and those more transformational moments, really.
Absolutely. It's very rewarding, and very rewarding, very exciting.
Yeah. And what an amazing impact just a simple understanding has, and just how the ripple effect of that is. That's incredible.
Definitely.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that with us today.
I hope it was helpful. It's definitely my business, my life anyway.
Yeah, well, we've had some likes and we've got some people watching, so I think that's a good indication.
That's good.
But thank you so much for sharing that. It's been well, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I know that those in my community love it when when you come and talk. So that's really great and really helpful, and thank you very much. And I'm sure we'll speak again soon.
Thanks a lot, Andrea.
Thank you.